6 months ago, on the streets of Calderitas, we found a dog who looked like he had already given up on life. His body was broken, his movements were unsteady, and the fear in his eyes told us he had suffered more than any animal ever should. We still don't know exactly what happened to him, whether it was a wild animal or another dog. The attack he suffered was horrific. The injuries left him with permanent neurological damage, and when we first found him, we honestly didn't know if he was going to survive. But even in that condition, even through all the pain, there was something about Milo that touched us immediately. Sometimes when you rescue animals, you meet souls that stay with you forever. Milo was one of those souls. The moment we found him, we took him straight to the vet. Over the following days and weeks, he underwent multiple tests, examinations and treatments, and then we received another devastating diagnosis. Milo had ehrlichia, a disease spread by ticks that attack the blood and immune system. If left untreated, ehrlichia can be deadly, and with how weak Milo already was from the attack, his little body was fighting battles from every direction. At that point, the odds were stacked against him. He was injured, traumatized, sick, exhausted, but somehow he kept going. And that's one thing animals never stop teaching me. Their ability to forgive, their ability to trust again, and their incredible will to survive, even after humans and life have failed them over and over again. Milo's recovery wasn't easy. There were difficult days where he barely had strength, days where progress felt painfully slow, days where we worried about whether his body could handle everything it had been through, but little by little, he started healing. First came the small moments, a proper meal, a tail wag, a peaceful sleep, the first signs that he finally felt safe. And then slowly, we began seeing the real Milo. A gentle, loving, beautiful soul hidden underneath all the pain and trauma. Even with his neurological damage, he never stopped trying, never stopped showing affection, never stopped wanting love. For months, Milo fought his way back. And once he was finally stable, healthy and strong enough, we started searching for something every rescue deserves. Not just survival, but a home. A real home. A loving family. A place where he could finally experience the life he had always deserved. And honestly, finding homes for dogs with special needs can be incredibly difficult. People often overlook them. They see the injuries before they see the soul. But Milo deserved someone who would love him exactly as he was. Not despite his scars, not despite his condition, but completely and fully for the beautiful dog he is. And after a couple of weeks, something amazing happened. Another rescuer came forward. A kind woman with a huge heart, who understood animals that had suffered. She was willing to give Milo the chance he deserved. And today, 4 months after finding his forever home, watching him now feels almost emotional beyond words. Because this is not the same dog we found suffering alone on the streets. This is a happy dog, a safe dog, a loved dog. Milo now spends his days surrounded by warmth, comfort and family. He plays constantly, follows his humans around, and finally gets to experience life without fear. And maybe the most beautiful part of all is that he's found two siblings who understand him perfectly. Lupin the cat and Mabel the chihuahua. Both of them also carry their own painful stories. Lupin lost a leg due to an accident. Mabel was hit by a motorbike and lives with a lasting injury. 3 animals, 3 survivors, 3 souls that have suffered deeply. And yet, when you watch them together, all you see is happiness. They play together all day long. They comfort each other. They rest together. They live completely in the moment. Animals don't care about perfection. They don't care about scars, missing limbs, disabilities, or trauma. They care about safety, love, trust, and connection. And this beautiful woman gave all 3 of them exactly that. A home where they are accepted exactly as they are. Watching Milo run around with his little family today honestly reminded me why rescue matters so much. Because rescue is about so much more than saving an animal in a single moment. It's about giving them a chance to truly live afterwards. It's about watching fear slowly turning to trust, watching pain turning to healing. Watching an animal that once expected nothing from the world suddenly discover comfort, affection, and happiness. So many people see rescue as sadness, and yes, sometimes it is heartbreaking. We see cruelty, neglect, abandonment, suffering that no living creature should ever experience. But moments like this, these are the moments that make everything worth it. Seeing Milo now, seeing how peaceful he is, how loved he is, how safe he feels, it reminds me that rescue changes lives forever. Not only for the animals, but for us too. Because these animals teach us something incredibly important. That healing is possible. That trauma doesn't define a soul. That even after the worst experience imaginable, love can still completely transform a life. Milo will always have neurological damage. Lupin will always have 3 legs. Mabel will always carry the effects of her injury. But those things no longer define them. What defines them now is joy, family, safety, and love. And honestly, I think that's the most beautiful thing about rescue. It's not about creating perfect animals. It's about giving imperfect, forgotten, broken souls the opportunity to finally experience happiness. 6 months ago, Milo was lying injured and alone on the streets of Calderitas fighting for his life. Today he spends his days playing with his siblings, surrounded by love, comfort and kindness. That transformation is everything. And sitting with him today reminded me exactly why we keep going, even when rescue feels exhausting, emotional and overwhelming. Because somewhere out there right now is another Milo, another animal suffering silently, another soul waiting for someone to stop and care. And if Milo's story proves anything, it's this. No matter how broken an animal may seem, no matter how much pain they've endured, love can still change everything. And sometimes the most beautiful endings begin in the darkest places. Thanks for watching.